Alright, now that that awkward intro is done, let's get to the nitty gritty. So like I said, we're doing Osso Buco. Probably call it Osso Buco-ish. This is a deviation from the original recipe by far. It's definitely not traditional. What we're going to be using today is this. This is a cross-cut from a USDA Choice brisket that I got a little while back. Used the rest of it for ground beef, but figured I'd do something a little special with this. Like I said, it's not traditionalist. Traditionalist, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure people use beef shank, veal shank for this. Me personally, I think anything that could be braised friendly, like a brisket perhaps, short rib, even maybe a pork shoulder would probably work really well for this dish. And what I really want to do is add my own flair to it. So what I'm going to be doing here shortly is setting up the Weber kettle outside, which I'm, by the way, not sponsored by. Obviously, I don't know too many people are. Their product speak for itself. I'm going to do an indirect method outside, which will bring you out there even though it's raining. I swear to God, I could not film for 2 weeks, and it will rain right then and there. I'm going to do an indirect method out there, sort of a more or less snake method. My briquettes are kind of broken up, so they're not sitting pretty. And we'll do a little offset smoking. Now I'm not going to smoke these all the way through. I'm not worried about bark. I'll probably have them out there for 2 to 3 hours just for a little bit of flavor, guys. It's no big deal. Reason why I'm not worried about a bark is because at the end of the day, before I make the mirepoix, I'm going to have to bring them in and sear them off anyways and flour them on both sides, put them in a little bit of oil and sear them off to get that kind of a crust. But basically, for those who don't know, when it comes to the snake method, I'll even draw you a little picture right now. It's going to look horrible, so bear with me. Usually, with the snake method, we do 3 briquettes, okay? Arranged in the outside rim of the Weber kettle. It works out perfectly. They're stacked like this. Now, when your briquettes are broken like mine are, it doesn't look very pretty, so, you know, what the heck, we did the best we could. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to keep the temperature down. It should look this. I don't really know how we can tell right now because it's the good old outdoor light. But yep, just a little U-shaped pile of briquettes with a little bit of wood chips. You can use wood chunks too, but I'd be a little bit careful about that. Too big of a wood chunk, you're gonna have a little bit of a fluctuation in temperature. No big deal at the end of the day. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Figure we're smoking for about 2 hours. We'll get a little warm water in this. It'll help stabilize the temperature. Get a few hours of smoke on it, and then we'll bring it in and do the next step. Let's go back to seasoning, huh? Alright, well, now that you've taken a tour of my good old dirty Weber kettle, let's go ahead and season. Like I said, we're going for a traditional Texas style brisket seasoning here today, at least in my traditional version. Salt, pepper, we're using 2 parts pepper to 1 part coarse salt. Big thick chunks of meat like this, they're pretty resilient. You can pound them pretty good. Use a decent amount of salt and pepper. Try to get it on every little bit. Then, once we get that smoker up to about, I don't know, 250, 260, we'll get the meat on there. And like I said, it can take a nap for a couple hours out there. Don't really worry about your temps too much on this one, guys, either. You know, I mean, we're not trying to cook this all the way through either. This will probably be braising for anywhere between 2 to 4 hours. This is a bit of an experiment because I have not done this with this cut of meat yet. But, you know, hey, we're all learning. You guys know the drill. Alright. So we will get back to you once we get this on the pit, maybe for one last viewing before we put her to sleep. Alright? See ya. Alright, cue the music. Alright, cut. We got things to do. Let's finish. You know, I was going to sear these off, but come on, look at that. Already started to develop color, already getting crust. We're not rendering fat yet, we're only at 135 degrees, so I think we're going to move right on to the mirepoix. Alright guys, here's your common ingredients for your mirepoix. Got a little bit of carrot and celery action, medium onion, a real massive garlic clove. And then we'll get it over here in a Dutch oven, get it seared off, and a little bit of oil. Add a little tomato paste to it, and I'm probably going to do about a cup and a half of chicken broth, followed by a half cup of water, and probably about a heaping tablespoon of a condensed beef gel, I guess you can call it. I don't want to show the actual name brand, but it's a one of those better than bouillon deals. You guys recognize the back side of the jar. Don't want to get in trouble here showing the other side. All right, let's get to chopping. All right, well, there we go. We got everything chopped up. I'm going to save the garlic towards the end, so I don't want that to burn and get bitter. It'll wreck everything. I'm also going to be throwing a bay leaf in it and a little bit of thyme as well, right when it starts to get to a simmer. Let's get to the other part, huh? All right, got that pan heated up. Let's get these mixed veggies up and in here. Bring them to a nice sizzle. Get them to sweat a bit. Got our garlic cut up too. Didn't show that, but pretty sure you guys know what cut garlic look like. Alright. Let's get a little tomato paste in here. Clear out a spot. Like I said, we're going to go for about 2 tablespoons. That should do it. Let that sit and bloom. You might have to look into that a little bit better. I just heard somebody say it the other day and it sounded interesting. So now I'm going to make it my own. It'll be our little secret. I don't know how long I should be letting this bloom. Attention to detail, I didn't pay. Alright, good enough. Start getting that mixed around. Get a light coating on all our nice little beautiful vegetables in there. And then we add our liquid. Oh god, that smells good. Alright. We're gonna go in with the with that broth first. I used a whole can of chicken broth. Idealistically, you would like enough liquid in here to cover your meat halfway. About a heaping tablespoon of this roasted beef based. The combination's really, really nice. Get that nice, rich, bold flavor of the beef. Probably about a half cup of wine. Might have been a little more. Alright. So we're going to let this do its thing until it gets to a simmer. If I have to add anything, I'll just add a little bit of water. I'm also going to season to taste. A little salt, pepper action. No big deal. And we'll be back. Alright guys, we'll be back here in a little bit. She's going to go on the stove now at 275 degrees for, well, we'll be checking on her in about 2 hours. She could take up to 4. But I'll bring you back for the homemade mashed potatoes here in a little bit. Stay tuned. Many hours later, ladies and gentlemen, this is our end result, and I am stoked. It smells amazing in here, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with any of this. I know it wasn't the traditional, but you know what? This is how you make new traditions. Alright, the moment I've been waiting for. I don't know about you, but let's take a look at this. Well, you've already looked at it. Let's take a taste at it. Now, I'll tell you right now, it's fork tender. Yeah, this just smells amazing. Yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit of that potato on it. Doesn't want to behave. I ended up doing instant mashed potatoes, guys. Lights fading. We'll get back into the potato situation some other day. Wow. Oh my goodness. This, I don't want to say this would be the only way I would do this, but I'm telling you right now, if you like brisket, and you find it at a reasonable price, let's say you want to make a monster batch of this for everybody, totally, totally, totally do this. I mean, in between the richness of the sauce, the smokiness of the meat was properly seasoned too, so I'm still getting a little bit of that nuttiness from the pepper. Definitely the right amount of salt. I didn't actually dry brine this one, but that's a perfect bite between that potato, the sauce, the meat. It's just a straight up match made in heaven, and I would highly, highly recommend this. This is definite. All right, so that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for coming to Dyslexic Dad's Cooking. Please like, subscribe. We're still trying to build. Let's build, let's build, let's build. Share. And yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, I want to build a monster cooking community where people like me that have like thoughts can mix barbecue with other cuisine and, I don't know, not necessarily reinvent the wheel, but just make something delicious. Thanks for coming. Have a good one.